The famous Broadmoor rally. It's kind of fun to have to wait to cross the street, so much traffic. Well, you can see all the traffic going by now, and even on that day, there were cars and buses and police officers going up and down Napoleon. I mean, we're right in the middle of the city. And this is where we set up a big tent. And then because we were on a main thoroughfare, could really get the word out that, you know, there was going to be a rally and a meeting. And seems like a long time ago.
When we first came home, you just couldn't believe how much destruction water could do.
Big boots on and all your gear on and what you touch and make sure you have gloves on. I mean, it was just like after like a war or something.
I didn't have anything when I walked in, so I sat on the side of the step and I cried and I cried. And it hurted me so bad because all I worked for was just to retire and come home and rest, you know. So I said, Lord, am I going to start all over again at 65 years old?
It was a moment that memories were just washed away.
January 11th, 2006. That's the day the Green Dot came out for Broadmoor. And the Green Dot was a designation by the Bring New Orleans Back plan to talk about areas of the city that shouldn't be allowed to rebuild, and we were one of them.
All hell broke loose when we saw that Green Dot over Broadmoor, saying that no, we needed to be a Green Dot, and then we heard a drainage park, that sort of thing.
Except I'd already been working for 2 months on my house and was feeling rather reactionary when I saw that big green dot.
We had no input. There was no input from the neighborhood. There was no input from citizens. It was all these outside experts that allegedly knew New Orleans better than we did.
Well, we had people coming back already. So we felt that we were viable, and we felt that we could become a great neighborhood once again. It just took some planning of our residents.
When the sounding call went out around the world to Broadmoorians to kind of unite and take up this challenge, I wanted to be a part of that. I remember vividly one of the first meetings I attended. There were still no street lights. There were no public services to speak of. There were no stores open. And there could have been at least 300 people there who had decided to make their way back to New Orleans to fight for this community.
I really felt then that that was the beginning of really understanding what a real community is about. And I was so glad that God brought me to Broadmoor.
You know, what I say to people is, if it takes a village to raise a child, what does it take to raise a village? And we were a village. We were 7,000 people in 2,400 buildings. And we have to bring back everything, the library, the school, the roads, you know, help our neighbors.
This is about addressing the social ills that plagued us pre-Katrina as we rebuild our neighborhood post-Katrina.
In order to get the resources we need to rebuild our community and to make it better than before, we have to be accountable to the utmost. And so that's everybody.
Here's how we have to do it. We have to create this plan that's going to make our neighborhood better. And who's interested in what?
And when we said, we've got this committee, we've got this group, we want to learn this, we want to do this, those people who lived here volunteered and gave thousands and thousands of hours of time, and we planned a whole new Broadmoor.
We've got housing assistance programs to help people both with their renovation. We've got case management programs that help people with their insurance policies.
Bringing in additional social services to meet the needs of our residents. We've secured adequate funding to fully restore our library, and now it's our public school. One of the first things we did is we decided, look, the way we're going to dig out of this is through public-private partnerships. Corporations and nonprofits and universities and faith communities, and of course leading the whole charge of the citizens, because we're the world experts on Broadmoor.
They went out and they networked, They got people like the mayor's office in San Francisco at Harvard University, all the churches, all the denominations, and all the volunteers. And because we got the first step on it, we're ahead of everybody in the city.
Harvard is part of the commitment to help support Broadmoor in building private-public partnerships.
Hi everyone, my name is Doug Levine. I am a student at the Kennedy School of Government up at Harvard.
I'm a master's student at the School of Design and Architecture. I'm one of 2 educational consultant interns. This time we're working on repopulation for Broadmoor.
So that is also to say, if y'all see a bunch of fresh, strange faces with clipboards drenched in sweat, right? You don't have to contact the crime committee. They don't even know if the copper is worth anything.
Whether it's money or expertise, talent, labor, but it takes all of the above to rebuild a neighborhood, to rebuild a city.
This is the Andrew Wilson School, which is now a charter school. We're approaching 2 years since the levee breach and Hurricane Katrina. And you know, the heart of our neighborhood, our public school hasn't returned. With the dealings with the state around facilities, it's just, there are so many different obstacles that have been put in our way.
I went to Wilson myself.
That's, see? Mm-hmm. So it's an asset, and we have to bring it back to this neighborhood.
I was born and raised around here.
I know it. Mm-hmm. I know it.
So all of this was completely destroyed, all the plumbing ripped out. I mean, you see the pictures, the old pictures, and there's just plumbing supplies and, you know, everything completely destroyed. What's great is we've got smart boards and computers and, you know, just technology for the kids. Kids of every background and economic level have the right to have that kind of exposure. And so we've been able to fundraise and get that in here. And I think a part of that is our funders are supportive of the idea of the community coming together and you know, doing it themselves.
It's all us. Yeah, no one's come here and said we're opening Wilson School. No, the community said that. And no one said, well, we're forming a charter school board in Broadmoor. No, the community did that. So we take full ownership and pride in what we've been able to accomplish for our families and residents of this neighborhood.
You can look at physical evidence, whether it's the trees being planted on Napoleon Avenue or Claiborne Avenue, whether it's the new Wilson School, whether it's the plan for the new library. I mean, there's tangible evidence of how the investment of your personal time, your personal effort can actually translate into a broader, you know, return for the entire Broadmoor community.
We are a neighborhood and an association to be duplicated. We've brought back more people. We've improved our way of living.
We cannot stop. There will never be a day that Broadmoor is a place where we just can lay back, because together we make it happen.
Broadmoor is family, you know, and I really feel that that's why we never left, because we felt the security, we felt the love, we felt the neighborhood.
The help we give to neighbors and the importance of bringing back the neighborhood and the sharing of resources with other neighborhoods. For many of us, this is probably the cause of our lifetime.